A week that saw the return of two imported squad players in Gift Ali Abubakar, arguably KCCFC's best player for the 2019-2020 season, and also the return of Dennis Iguma from an injury. We shall also be speaking the reactions from the fans, the coach, and the players of KCCFC, and also the highlights after last week's Uganda Premier League games, and also the build-up ahead of the games that will be happening next week. It is Season 2, Episode 14 of the KCCFC TV show. Good evening. My name is Magero Mwanje. You and I are walking this journey together. Now, to start it off with the club news from KCCFC, we'll start with that Under-17 team that is in Morocco ahead of the Under-17 AFCON games that will be happening this month, that is in March. And KCCFC has 5 players in that squad in Mawa Oscar, Mukisa Simon, a defender that also traveled with the team for the Sekafa tournament that was last year in Rwanda. And also the captain of the team, Ibrahim Juma, and Magogo Shafiq, and another player in Mwanje Elvis Eddy. That's a player who made his debut for KCCFC, that is towards the end of the 2019-2020 season, and that was in the Uganda Cup game that was away in Masindi. So we wish these guys quite the very best when this tournament starts. The tournament starts in a week's time. It will be starting the other weekend, and we wish Uganda all the very best. They are pitted in a group that has teams like Ivory Coast and other teams in there. So we know that the players will really represent the country quite very well because they did it in the Sekafa tournament where they were able to win that tournament in Rwanda, and then they qualified for the Under-17 AFCON tournament. So we hope they can replicate what the Under-20 national team has done in Mauritania, and they also be able to make the nation smile. So all the best to the Under-17 boys that is in Marrakech in Morocco. May you fly the flag of Uganda higher. Now diving straight into the Star Times Uganda Premier League. This week, KCCFC played a game against Busoga United. That was away at the Fufa Technical Center in Jeru, and KCCFC coming out on top in this one, winning the game 4-0 away. That is the biggest away nil for the football club this season. Definitely Sadata Naku playing his second game for that is KCCFC this season. That is his second Star Times Uganda Premier League game because he played his first game. That was in the game that was before the game that KCCFC played against Busoga United. And he did not score in his first game, but then he scored against Busoga United a hat-trick. And that means he has 3 goals now in the Star Times Uganda Premier League in the 2 games he has played, coming out on top that day. And definitely another player in Charles Rwanga coming from the bench to score the 4th goal for KCCFC. And that meant that is his 5th goal in 6 games. So all the 6 games that have happened after that break, that was in December, Mr. Lukwago Charles has scored 5 goals in these 6 games. You remember that goal he scored against Express, the away goal he scored against Bull, and then he had the double against Maida Football Club. He missed scoring against Wakiso Giants, and he also didn't score against Chitara Football Club. But now he came up and scored against Busoga United, so top class for the football club in that one. Definitely the return of Gift Ali Abubakar being the highlight, a player that had only played 1 game in the Star Times Uganda Premier League this season, and that was against Oduparaga Football Club when KCCFC won 8-0. Since then, he's been injured. He missed the CAF game against AS Kigali. He's missed close to about 9 games this season, but he was able to come off the bench in that one. And also another player in Dennis Iguma, who had last played a club game for KCCFC, and that was against AS Kigali before he flew out to join the Uganda Cranes in Cameroon for Chan. So they returned in this game, and you get to feel that there's that sense of positivity and a lot of confidence in the squad. If you have senior players in Gift Ali, Dennis Iguma return to the squad, and they're able to jostle for positions, definitely you get to think that the competition is going to help the football club going forward. So top class for the football club. In that one, definitely coming out on top, winning that game 4-0, another clean sheet for the club. Kudos to the captain himself, Mr. Charles Lukwago, keeping a clean sheet, the second in a row. After that one against Chitara Football Club, he had kept another against Busoga United. And also that backline of Obenchan Fillbert, Peter Magambo, who has really improved and is having an immense season this time. And also another player in Herbert Achai, not forgetting players in Brighton, Ukani, Mugume Ashraf, who featured in this one, Chigozi Samson Andrew playing in the midfield, and also Brian Aheebwa, who is yet to score a goal in the past 6 games, but you get to think that his time will come, and just like he has been, he's still the top scorer for the football club. He's got 7 goals in 11 games. But yes, we know he will get back to his scoring form, and he'll be able to score. So top class for the football club, and that is all about the game that KCCFC played in Jeru. And we definitely had the highlights, just like you've seen on that screen. So after that game between Busoga United Football Club and KCCFC at the FUFA Technical Center in Jeru, we took to our Twitter and asked our fans And then you told them, so after that 4-0 away win against Busoga United FC yesterday, what do you pick as your man of the match? And then you put hashtag BUS KCCA and hashtag StarTimes Uganda Premier League. And the players up for the poll were Magambo Peter, who kept a clean sheet in this one and had a very good game. Anaku Sadat, who scored the hat-trick. That is his first senior team hat-trick for KCCFC. And then Lukwago Charles, who kept a clean sheet in this one. At the time when the game was 1-0, he stopped a lot of questions that were asked by that Busoga United attack. And then Musa Hassan, who had the game of his life in this one. So the fans responded, and as per the Twitter poll, after that game, Magambo Peter got 8%, Anaku Sadat got 83%, Lukwago Charles got 8%, and Musa Hassan got 3%. That is per the Twitter poll. So Anaku Sadat was voted by the fans on Twitter as the man of the match. That is after that game between Busoga United and KCCFC, and fortunately enough, it was also the Pilsner Uganda man of the match after that game between Busoga United and KCCFC. So the fans also got it right. So that's double man of the match for Anaku Sadat after that game. So kudos to Anaku Sadat. We know you're going to score a lot of goals because now he's hungry. He had missed most of the games because of his license that was not out yet because he had licensing issues. But now he's back, everything is sorted, and he's ready to go. We hope he can replicate the form he had in the FUFA Juniors League, where he's the current all-time goal scorer for the FUFA Juniors League with 83 goals in 3 seasons. Guys, that is an average of about 30 goals or about 28 goals every season when he was sitting in the FUFA Juniors League. So that's all about the Twitter poll from KCCFC this week. So we also caught up with the fans of KCCFC after the game, and we asked them what they thought of the display on the day, the fans that traveled to Jinja. And then, I mean, kudos to everyone that traveled to Jinja, because we know in a period like this one where it's hard for people to get into the stadiums, we had some fans who were able to access that game. So we asked them for their opinions, and this is what they had to say after that game.
Amanya gange nze Ezera Muwangalule ndi muwagizi wa KCC. Era ekindese wane Jinja kujja kulaba mpira gwa KCC.
Amanya gange nze Katit Olivia ngamvira Kisoga Mukono.
Kyensooka okwogera nti njagala nnyo nsaba nnyo abawagizi baffe okubeera patient, obugumiikiriza, kuba essuubi liwe likendeera nga mulaale esse wansi. Naye this time njagala nnyo omulaale esituke, abazanyi baffe batandise otulaga nti they are picking, they are gaining. Kuba nti nno osobodde okuba ggoolo 8 mu mipiira 2. Kizaamu nnyo amaanyi. Niffe ng'abawagizi tuli basanyufu nnyo.
KCC esambye bulungi nnyo omupiira olwaleero, naye tubadde tulinamu obuzibu nga tunulidde omuntu omu Aheebwa. Ennaku zino Aheebwa ayosezza emipiira mingi nga tateeba, okuva yakuba hat-trick eya Rwanda taddamu kuteeba mupiira. So kakati kiraze enjawulo nti tulina abantu abasobola okusamba omupiira. Bw'otunula emipiira gya leero, Sadati Anaku akubye goolo 3 ne Lwanga azze ateeba. Kitegeeza nti mu KCC mulimu abantu ab'enjawulo abasobola okuba emipiira okuteeba nga tetunulidde muntu omu. Tugambo Basenyonjo yavaawo n'agenda, Serwada taliiwo, naye nga olwaleero tulinawo omuntu gwe tasuubira kuba nti ateeba. Bw'otunulya Lwanga olwaleero ali mu goolo 5. Bw'otunulya Anaku ali mu goolo 4. Kiba kitegeeza nti tusamba bulungi nnyo, tukyusiza omupiira gwe tubadde nagwo. Omupiira gwe tulina gubadde mubi nnyo, gye tulaga tugenda samba omupiira omulungi okusingako emabega bwe kibadde.
Nze mbadde nga tino buli omu muli muye munda alina potential okubeera nga asobola okutenda. Nti oli ne waba taliiwo nti yaba asobola okukola ki okuteeba omupiira. Si nti baba balina kubeera nga buli omu ali ku muntu omu gw'aba alina kuba nga atunuulidde. Balina okubeera nga buli omu mind ze mugamba tebakuwa omupiira oba olina okuteeba.
Kyensinga okwetaaga njagala consistency. Singa abazanyi baffe babeera consistent mu mbeera bwetu nga bwe bebeera, tujja kuba tuli ku fire. At least eyo fire yennyini tuli basanyufu nnyo ku ekyo.
Ennonda ya Mike tebadde mbi. Mike abadde mulungi nnyo era mulungi ddala. Seetaaga muntu amukwateko kubanga ennonda y'omupiira azza agobera omupiira guno mpola mpola. Abamu baga Mike agenda nedda, Mike tagenda agira alindako. Ennonda ya tiimu gy'abadde nayo yabadde tukoledde omupiira okuva ku mupiira gwa Maida ne tusamba Kitala, olwo tusambye Busoga United, naye tusambye bulungi nnyo kusinza ku nnonda ya Mutebi gy'alonzeemu abazannyi. N'ekirala mbadde musanyufu nnyo bwe ndabe ku Gift Ali ng'akomyewo mu kisaawe ate nga ne Sadati anakutabaddewo naye nga waali kale kiraga nti wetulaga tujja kuba bulungi tusobola okubanga ku kikopo kuno kwetuli.
Njagadde nnyo omutindo gwa defender wange Machete Magambo, ngeri gyatandise okuyimirira mu defense ye ndi musanyufu nnyo okuba nti ino partnership ye etandise okuba nga ekwata Ben Machete ne Achai wansi ate sito okuma omutindo gwa clean sheet kitu kirungi nnyo.
Top stuff from the fans, definitely excited that Anaku Sadat is back scoring, so that means the scoring form at the football club. Anaku has, after that game between Busoga United and KCCFC, Anaku has 3 goals, and then we have Mr. Brian Aheebwa with 7 goals in the league. After that game between Busoga United and KCCFC, Lukwago Charles having 5 goals in the league, and Mr. Senyonjo Samuel, who is away in Mauritania, having 5 goals too. So there's a tie with Senyonjo and Mr. Lukwago Charles. So you get to think that there's also competition coming in from Sadat Anaku. If he's able to score 3 goals in one game, maybe he will be able to score 3 more other goals. So it's top stuff for the football club, for the manager, because he's now faced with a lot of selection headache. Who does he start? Because all his scorers, all his forwards are able to score at any given time. And I mean, that's towards the technical team. They know how they will be able to choose that. We're going to be going to a break, and when we return, we shall come back with the reactions from the players, the coach, and also a lot more that happened last week after this break. Now, welcome back from that break. We caught up with one of the coaches at KCCFC in Jackson, Magero, after that game between Busoga United and KCCA Football Club at the FUFA Technical Center in Jeru. And he had a lot to say. He stood in for the manager, that is Mike Hilary Mutebi, and he spoke to the media for that post-match press conference. And this is what he had to say after that game between Busoga United and KCCA Football Club.
Kisikiriza kuba club eno tugimanyi bulungi. Number 1 era irwana kubeera ku top. Kati ekyokufunamu ka setback nebanga ebadde tekola bulungi empiira ng'esatu tegijjako kubeera nti nno kirabu y'amaanyi. So kyobola bakati itandise okupiikinga n'okudda mu kifo kyesambiramu omupiira ekyokubeera ng'ebeera ewennyinga. Sadati Anaku okusinziira nga bw'obazzeemu mulaba kuva mu junior league nga Mutebi myaka 3 top scorer. Wabeera ku level ennungi ya fitness, nga talina injury, talina question about okuteeba goal. Olumuweereza omupiira obulungi amanyi okulaba waguteeka mu katimba. Kyamulembe kubanga bw'obeera n'abateebi nga bonna bateeba kitegeeza waliwo okuvuganya. So kibayambako okulwana mu training okukola ennyo n'okumuwa maaki n'ajja ng'alagira ddala kubanga ebifo mu maaso awo ekimuteekesaayo yenna kubanga ajjawo emikisa gye tuba tukuliyeti. So Lwanga bw'abeera ku benchi aba alaba tumugamba nti weetegereze. Olumuleeta aba amanyi ba defenders mistakes zaabwe tobola oluyingiramu ebiseera ebisinga ajjawo omukisa oguba gukoleddwa. Era kukola bye tubadde tukola kyekigenda okutukuumisa momentum eno nga tuzannya omupiira wansi bulungi ate okugenda mu maaso nga gwakigendererwa.
Those are the reactions from Magero Jackson. Also, the coach for the junior team of KCCFC has been able to help a lot of youngsters at the football club come through the ranks. That is from the junior team of KCCFC, and now most of them are playing at the senior team. Players like Musa Ramadan, players like Afumbe Joseph, players like Chizabu Kenya Joseph, players like Anaku Sadat, name it, there are quite very many. So when he speaks at the post-match press conference, he has all the substance that he has in him to be able to speak to the press, because he's been able to raise a couple of youngsters that are currently playing for that senior team. But we also caught up with the players, the man that scored the hat-trick himself, Sadat Anaku, Mugume Ashraf also, who was taken off injured, that is after halftime, and then he was replaced by Kezron Kizito. And then we also talked to Lukwago Charles, who scored his 5th goal in 6 games in that game between Busoga United and KCCFC, and this is what they had to say after that game.
Like, first of all, we are building our confidence, and they have seen we are coming up, and we are now boosted because our captain is on us, and as players we are very focused because we have ahead of us. We have so many games, and we need to put such a performance so that we can be on top.
And I'm very happy that I'm back in the pitch. This is the time I've been waiting for, to be back in the pitch, to help my team win games. So I'm very happy with the hat-trick that I've scored today. This gives us more competition as strikers at the club, to perform.
Mpulira bulungi nnyo. Mpulira bulungi kubanga njagala nkuume foomu eyo kubanga goolo ze njagala season eno nnungi nnyo nyingi. Goolo njagala nnyingiko. Nina tageti zange nga nze omusambi n'ebirooto byange bye njagala okugatta ku ttiimu ya KCCA nayo engatteko kingi nnyo.
For a team to become a champion, you don't have to concede goals. I'm really happy that we are keeping clean sheets and we are winning as well. I think it's a good motivation to us all. Going forward, I hope that we win more matches so that we can go back to the summit.
So I'm not under pressure, as I told you previously. We are there to help the club. So I'm not putting myself under pressure. And goals will come. If I'm to score, I'm going to score. And I have my ambitions to score goals this season. So I'm not putting myself under pressure.
The trick is we all love each other and we play according to our strengths. And the coaches keep motivating us, which is a good thing. Now going forward, we are going to maintain our cover. We are going to maintain our clean sheet.
Ddala lye njagala otuukako okusookera ddala njagala agenda ku national team. Kye njagala okusooka, njagala agenda ku national team. Njagala goolo nga 10+. Goolo ze njagala.
Let me thank my fans for supporting me and having trust in me. I won't promise them much, but just goals, because I have my target of scoring 15 goals. In fact, let me say, if God wishes more than 15, I want to be among the top scorers. So I've started it.
Abawagizi nange ndi musanyufu gye bali kubanga nsobola okutuukirizaako ekitono kye bansuubiramu naye ng'ebirungi bikyajja.
Actually, I want to add scoring to my game because it can be a supplement to my game, which can make me aim higher or motivate me so that I improve on my game.
So top class from the players. Peter Magambo coming up to say that he's very happy with his kind of form and he wants to improve by the day. He wants to make sure he gets to the national team. Those are his goals. And Sadata Naku coming up to say he wants to score goals. The fact that he has scored his first goals for this season, those are 3 goals in just 2 games he had played, because him is scoring against Kitara Football Club. So his spirits are quite up there because he knows he can score the goals. Very confident player, I should say. And also Lukwago Charles coming up to say that he has scored his 5th goal in 6 games. This gives him confidence. So, and also Mugume Ashraf coming out to say that he was stretchered off injured, but he knows he'll be able to bounce back and keep playing for the football club. So top class from the players. But also to remind you, we did not only play Busoga United this week, we played a game against the Army Men, that is UPDF Football Club, and that game happened at the MTN Omondi Stadium. These are the highlights for that game.
Goal number 1 for KCCA scored by shot number 14, Sadat Anaku. Goal is also on Zanyokuno, Iranga KCCA Football Club. for KCCFC scored by shirt number 15, Ashraf Mugume. Zeki Katende is on for shot 29, Ibrahim Tembo. And that's goal number 5. Goal number 4 for KCCFC, scored by shot 18, Charles Luanga. That's the full-time whistle. KCCFC 6, UPDF Football Club 1.
Now welcome back from that break. We have Star Times Uganda Premier League games to talk about that will be happening this week, and KCCFC will be traveling again to the FUFA Technical Center in Jeru to play Chetume Football Club on Tuesday. And also later on in the week, the club will be playing Police Football Club at the MTN Omondi Stadium, call it the Lukwago Derby. So it's going to be quite a cracker because both clubs are used to playing on those grounds and they play beautiful football. So this one game you should never miss, and definitely if you miss it, you'll be able to watch the highlights on the KCFC TV show and also the YouTube of KCCA Football Club. But first, the build-up ahead of that game between Chetume Football Club and KCCFC. These clubs have played themselves twice, and that was last season because Chetume Football Club was promoted from the big league to the StarTimes Uganda Premier League after the 2018-2019 season. So they played their first season in the main league. That was the 2019-2020 season. And KCCFC won the first leg 5-2. If you remember, that is the game where Sam Senyonjo scored his first goal for the football club on his debut. The game ending 5-2 at the MTN Omondi Stadium. And then the return leg game that happened at Chirunya Jinja SS, that is the stadium for that school. The game ending 2-0 in favor of KCCFC. That was an away win before the pandemic happened. So we got a double over Chetume Football Club last season. And now we are visiting them at a different stadium, the Fufa Technical Center. And you get to think the players will be able to replicate the form they showed against Busoga United last week at the same grounds. And they should be able to win this one because if you just to look at all the statistics are in favor of KCCFC, because if you look at the matches played, they have played 2 games. Both clubs have played 2 games against each other. KCCFC has won 2. Chetume has never won. They have not drawn any time ever. And then losses, Chetume has lost twice. KCCFC has never lost to Chetume. And Chetume has only scored 2 goals in those 2 games, while KCCFC has scored 7 goals in the 2 games it has played against Chetume Football Club. And definitely Chetume conceding 7 and KCCFC conceding twice. Chetume having 0 points in the 2 games and KCCFC having 6 points. So that is the head-to-head ahead of that game between Chetume Football Club and KCCFC that will happen at the Fufa Technical Center in Magero. And looking at the squad of KCCFC, we do not really think that the boys that will be coming in from Mauritania will be able to play this one. It's quite early for them because they just came back to the country early this week. But we expect the same squad that has been playing games, that is last week's games against Busoga United, UPDF, will be the same players playing this one. Obviously, the return of players in Gift Ali and Sadata Anoku, who has sorted his licensing issues, and Dennis Iguma. So we expect the same players that have been playing for the football club in the past games to play in this one. For the boys that will be coming in from Mauritania, that is the under-20 players, the 6 boys, plus the assistant manager, we expect them to play at a later stage, probably in the game against Police Football Club or the last game of the first round against Vipers Sports Club that will happen the other week. So that is all about the game ahead of that game between Chetume Football Club and KCCA Football Club. But also, we shall also be playing on Friday at the MTN Omondi Stadium, and this will be between KCCFC and Police Football Club. That game will happen, just like I said, at Lugogo. And if you're to look at the statistics between both of these clubs, in the last 21 games, KCCFC has played Police Football Club. KCCA has won 15 times, while Police Football Club has won none. That is in the last 15 games. And then both clubs have drawn 6 times. And then in terms of losses, KCCA has not lost a game against Police Football Club in the last 21 league games, guys. And then Police has lost 15 times to KCCFC. And then if you look at the goals scored, KCCA has scored 36 goals in the last 21 games, while Police has scored 14. And then goals against each other, KCCFC has conceded 14 goals, while the Police Football Club has conceded 36 goals in the last 21 games. And then points for both clubs, KCCFC having 51 points in 21 games, while Police Football Club having 6 points in the last 21 games. So all the numbers are in favor of KCCFC ahead of this one. Police having a very good season so far because they have been able to win games and they're in the top 4 teams so far. And you get to think it's going to be a crack of a game because both clubs can play the game of football. They really play beautiful football. Both gaffers believe in playing that nice tic-tac football. So an interesting games that will happen at the MTN Omondi Stadium on Friday. So that's about it. That is for the head-to-head. That is for the games between Chetume Football Club and KCCFC at Magero, and also that game between KCCA Football Club and Police Football Club at the MTN Omondi. So we caught up with the players and the coach of KCCFC ahead of these games, and this is what they had to say.
We're just going to stay training and without no pressure, because we are now getting our confidence, and what we have to do is to keep calm and not to get excited and to keep on working hard.
We are not going to undermine them. First of all, we are going to play our game. like the way we executed it today. I think come next Friday, we are going to win. Actually, this Friday.
Kyetusinga okwagala era tukyogerako bulijjo, tetwagala kuddamu kuluzinga bubonero bwonna. Twetaaga win solo okuwangula ekikopo season eno. Twetaaga n'okuuma fitness buli kaseera nga tuli bulungi fenna n'abasambi.
We are back in our winning ways. That's all what I can say. We are handling a game at a time. So we are waiting for the UPDF game that we're going to play.
The only schemer we have in Ugandan football who can play that role very well. One schemer who puts the team in shape, whether in offense or in attack, or in defensive mood. Giftari, fantastic. And we have been struggling. You see, we have tried to play some people there, Muguma Ashraf, Mazengo, but they have not lived up to expectations. So Giftari's addition has massive improvement in the team. Sadaka Anaku was not struggling for forms. What's his problem with Armstrong? We started the season when he had an Armstrong. Yet, by the time we had ended the season, he was my first choice centre forward. So immediately gets out of those injuries, back in the team, and back scoring goals. Now, he continues injury-free, he will always play. And of course, put a lot of competition to the others, Aheebwa, Sam, and Ruanga. We are supposed to score goals. Of that, there's no question. The way we play, possess, attacking football, we are supposed to score goals. That is not our problem. Our problem is that we do not tuck away as many chances as we do. But when we do take away those chances, we look fantastic. So I'm impressed by the forwards and most especially our style of play. We possess the ball with intention, positive possession, you know, not these square passes. We are saying, yeah, passing square in front of the lines, not hurting the opposition. But saturating the ball, try to get behind the lines and try to ask questions of the opposition. So that's what we have to do, and we are improving on that. It's peculiar to Ugandan players because now most teams, what they are doing, they are trying to concentrate on passing the ball. You see, every team tries to pass the ball, but when you look at the intention of passing, yes, the crowd will say, wait, but when those passes are not hurting the opposition, no excitement at all. But we are going to improve on that. We shall insist on playing that way. This thing where people say you must change what? You can't change. It is oppositions to react to what we play, not us. So we have to perfect our way of playing. This is a marathon. We cannot worry about our opponents. We must perfect our act, continue winning matches. You see, we had a shaky start, losing those three games, you know. But we shall still continue playing the way we are playing and scoring goals, and not worry about our opponents because their thinking is maybe the same as ours. They also think they are comfortable, they're in the race, you see. So it is better we concentrate on our own and try to win matches.
Interesting stuff from the players and the coach of KCCFC. Definitely a lot of positivity ahead of these ones. They think that they got to win games back to back if they are to challenge for the title, and that is the fact because we are playing a chess game. If you look at the table, KCCFC is not in the position it should be at, because we all know that KCCA should be in position number 1, but that's not happening this season yet. But then the club has scored the most goals, because if you look at that table, as per game 11, when KCCA played Busoga United, the club had scored 30 goals in 11 games. That is as per last week. So top class for the football club. If the gaffer and the players can come up and show that there's a lot of positive in the camp, they are confident. The boys from Mauritania joining the football club very soon. That is the under 20 boys. And also the return of the boys that have been injured in Gift Ali and Dennis Iguma. So there's nothing left for the football club. We've got to just get there and win games. So we also have the prediction from the fans ahead of next week's games, and this is what the fans have to say.
Omupiira gwa kyetume ngwinamu essuubidde nnyo nti nina okugugoba kubanga nga guli ewaka ewaabwe ejjinja, kubanga ensamba yange ku luwempe ennyanguyira nnyo, ate wano bwenzira ku luwempe ejjinja wano akuzanya n'akwagala. So nina essuubidde nnyo nja kukuba kyetume golo ze njagala, kuba n'omutindo gwabwe si mubi okusinziira ku nsamba gy'abadde asamba omupiira, ate gukyuse nnyo okuva ku babaddeko oluvannyuma lw'okukyusa kooki. Bwe ndabyeko omupiira gwa leero ng'asamba ne Villa takoze bulungi.
KCCA we najja wano nze nsuubira ejja kuba kyetume golo 2-0. Lwanga ne Sadat Anaku be bajjotebwa, kubanga nze mbeekakasa balina obusobozi mu ye bwafunira omupiira wali ateekayo buteesi, si nti kulinda alindo wabula yakubawo kubi mu ggoolo.
Omupiira gwa poliisi ngusuubira ogujja mu wiini ya ggoolo emu, wadde poliisi yeekubira nnyo, kale tera okunyigiriza ebiseera ebisinga obungi, naye ku luno nina essuubi nti nja mukubayo ekkene oba akagoolo kamu nja kamuggyako n'obubonero busatu.
So sisuubirawo nnyo challenge amaanyi. Yes, omutindo ne bali batuvuganya nawo batukulembedde mu maaso, naye nsuubira obubonero tubwetaaga. Senga tusofuna obubonero ate mu bantu abatuli mu maaso tuba kitegeeza liigi tugenda kudda ku top. Ndi mumativu nti nno omutindo gwe tulaga essaawa zino we are pushing forward.
Ogwa poliisi yeekalubamu nnyo, naye omupiira ogwo gujja kuba emu ku emu, era nga nsuubira abanaasamba mujja kubeeramu Anaku, mujja beeramu Gift Ali, mujja beeramu kale abasambi bonna Mike Mutebi banaabatadde mu ttiimu y'okutandika okusamba akapiira be bajja okusooka mu first half basamba omupiira, era nga mmanyi bajja gugoba goolo 1-0 kuba poliisi si nnyangu.
Nsaba nnyo abawagizi baffe babeere bagumiikiriza eno liigi omuntu okuba nga akulisa obubonero 6 nga ndi first round tenaggwako tekimala mu maanyi. Bazanyi batandise okupiikinga bakomawo ate they are scoring at least tusobola ofuna hat-tricks. Awo tuzzamu essuubi bazanyi baffe bali abalwadde kati balamu.
So interesting predictions from the fans always coming up to give their prediction ahead of the game. So top class from the fans. And that's been it for this week's show. We told you our under-17 boys will be kicking off that under-17 AFCON tournament next week in Marrakech, Morocco, and wish them all the best. We have 5 players in that team, and we know they will fly the flag of the club higher and for the Uganda Cranes highest. We also had the highlights for the games that happened last week, that is Busoga United Football Club and KCCA, and also that game between KCCA and UPDF. We also gave you the build-up ahead of the Uganda Premier League games that will happen next week, that is away in Jeru against Chetume Football Club, and at home the Lukwago derby between KCCA and Police. A lot of stuff that happened on the show tonight. Hopefully next week we'll have one of the people that have been in Mauritania, probably either the coach Mole Biekwas or one of the players on the show for an interview of how everything happened down in Morocco, in Mauritania, when they made history, that is making the finals of the AFCON Under-20 for the very first time, because they were playing their first tournament. We'll be catching up with them and they'll be telling us everything that happened in that tournament. And also, tomorrow will be Women's Day, and we'll be leaving you with a skit for the women, but not to forget, you can also get this show tomorrow. That is on the YouTube of KCCA, that is KCCA FC. And also follow us on our various social media handles, that is on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram. And all I can say that good night, happy Women's Day to all the women tomorrow, and let's catch up for Season 2, Episode 15 next week. My name is Magero Mwanje. Have a good night again.
Hi everyone.
My name is Fadirat Zahara Kadala.
My name is Ake Ulona.
Zebabide Babra.
My name is Sophie Najemba. A woman is a warrior. A woman is powerful.
Women are strong. Mama.
I'd like to wish every woman out there a happy and blessed Women's Day. Mwah.